Do you want to fight other players but don't know what's going on? Then this video is right for you. I'm Edo, a top Solare player, and I will introduce the basics of PvP to you today that will help you understand the concept behind combat. What I will be talking about is second nature to every good player, so without further ado, let's get started. There's a key set of PvP concepts, all equally crucial to understand. I will begin with the most simple one, character resources. This will be your health points, mana, stamina, and Black Spirit Rage. HP. At 0 HP, the character dies. HP can be regenerated over time or with potions and spells. Besides that, there is a special interaction with BSR skills which I will talk about in a bit. MP. On 0 MP, most spells won't work. MP can be regenerated by potions or some spells. Some classes, like Meva or Dracania, can drain this resource with their abilities. Stamina. Stamina is needed for almost every movement spell. At 0 stamina, you will be unable to use movement abilities and sprint, leaving you as an easy target. Some spells can even stop the regeneration of your stamina for their duration. Lastly, here's BSR. Resource for one used to enhance one-time use of set spells either conditionally or unconditionally, or used to get a 1-minute buff by absorbing rage after reaching 100 or 200%. You can get this buff by using at 100 and 200% skills as well. You can get rage either by building it over time, or getting hit, or killing PvE mobs. When used on spells, the enhanced version applies a wounded debuff, causing a portion of damage to reduce the effective HP of your enemy. This debuff can be stacked. The amount is different based on the percentage of skill used. For example, if your enemy has 6000 HP and use a 50% skill dealing 2000 damage, 30% of that, which is 600, becomes a wound, limiting your enemy's potential recovery to 5400 HP instead of 6000 HP. Basically, you temporarily lower the maximum HP of your opponents. The only way to get rid of this debuff is by either dying or waiting around 8 minutes. Next is crowd control, in short CC, and how you can avoid it. CCs are basically a short immobilizing effects that you can apply on enemy to stop them from taking actions and put them into different states. They also have a limit and can be avoided by protections and resistances. Each CC has a different duration and can force the character into various states. The states are standing, where the feet is on the ground, air, where the feet is off the ground, grounded, where the character is lying down, grappled, where the character is in someone's hands, recovering, where the character is getting back to standing from grounded, frozen, where the character is frozen in ice block, taking only 20% of damage. Before explaining different CCs, I will first elaborate what is a CC limit and then put CCs into 3 categories based on it. Soft CCs add 0.7 value. They are stiff and knockback. Hard CCs add value of 1. They are stun, bound, knockdown, float, freeze and grab. Extenders don't add any value to the CC limit. They are Airsmash and Downsmash. Each successful CC adds a certain value to CC limit, and when that amount reaches 2, the character will get a 5-second immunity to all CCs. This means that you can use a maximum of 2 hard, or with combination with soft CCs, up to 3 immobilizing effects in one combo. For example, a soft CC into hard CC into soft CC or a hard CC, then your target gets a CC immunity. Same CCs will have a brief time gap between being able to be reapplied if used back to back. For example, using knockdown into immediate another knockdown will not apply the second knockdown. Each CC has its own distinct animation. Soft CCs. Stiff. Duration, 2.5. Stiff can only be applied to standing or recovering enemy. Effect causes enemy to stop in place completely idle. Knockback. Duration 2 seconds. Knockback can only be applied on standing or recovering enemy. It will push the target backwards and make him face the direction of the attacker. Hard CCs. Stun. Duration 3 seconds. Stun can only be applied on standing or recovering enemy. Stun causes enemy to stop in place, slightly swaying left and right like on Friday night. Float. Duration 3 seconds. Float is possible in any state but grappled one. It causes enemy to get thrown in air away from the attacker and land into grounded state. It consists of 3 parts: 1. Long air state, 2. Short grounded state, and 3. Short recovering state. Knockdown, duration 4 seconds. Knockdown is possible in any state but grappled one. It knocks down the enemy away from attacker into grounded state. It has 3 parts: 1. Short air state, 2. Long grounded state, 3. Short recovery state. Knocked down enemy can choose to roll out for recovery in different directions using WASD inputs. The target can choose to stay knocked down for a long time by not pressing anything. Bound, duration 2 seconds. Bound is possible in any state but grappled one. Character is instantly put into grounded state. It has 2 parts: 1. Short grounded state, 2. Short recovery state. Grapple, duration depends on each individual grab. Possible in any state but grappled one. Grapple holds the enemy into hands and applies a guaranteed bound or float or knockdown after. The length of grapple is different for each one, and they all have distinct animations for both succeed and miss. Freezing, possible in any state but grappled and frozen. Enemy is put into ice block and is unable to move. Takes only 20% of damage for the duration of ice block. While in ice block, can be stunned, stiffed or knocked back. However, grounding CCs can be applied. And once the ice block ends, the character is put into grounded state. Extenders. Downsmash, duration 2 seconds. Downsmash can only be applied on grounded enemy. Downsmash replaces current grounded CC with a bound CC. Animation is that the enemy flops on the ground. Downsmash has 2 parts: 1. The grounded flop, 2. Recovery. However, this CC has one massive downside: it only has a 30% chance to succeed. Airsmash. Airsmash can only be used in air state. Airsmash stops float and reapplies it with identical float animation. During Airsmash air state, opponent can receive standing CCs such as stiff, stun, knockback. Airsmash has a 100% chance to succeed. Honorable mentions, which are not really a CCs but still a soft control limiters: Vacuum, Hitstagger and Slows. Vacuums are skills that pull character towards a designated point. While inside, you can still use any spell, but you'll constantly be pulled towards the center of the vacuum. Due to the strong pull, escaping these vacuums can be very difficult. Some vacuums also have the additional effect of turning their target towards them, such as the vacuum of Awakened Valkyries. Hitstagger. Getting hit will stagger the character. The more hits the character receives, the bigger the stagger is. This effect can shorten the duration of your spells, making them faster. While this might seem great at first, it often has negative implications, and I will tell you why in protection segments later. Slows. Debuffs which increase the animation length of your spells, thus making them slower. Slows only affect skills initiated after a debuff is applied, so if you get slowed during a skill, it won't affect the ongoing animation, but it will impact animations after. Special modifiers. Under certain conditions, you can deal additional damage to targets by using skills that trigger a special attack modifier. Critical hit. Critical hit has a modifier of 200%. All skills can proc critical hit. Back attacks. They have a modifier of 120%. Most skills can proc it when attacking from behind standing or recovering target. Air attack. Modifier of 170%. Only some spells can proc it when attacking enemy only in air. Down attack. Modifier of 120%. Some spells can proc it when attacking enemy only in grounded state. Any hit can proc critical hit, but you can only have one of the 3 types: back, air or down. Special attacks are additive, meaning that a crit with down attack will deal 220% damage, 100% which is base, 100% extra which is crit, and 20% extra which is from down. Now let's walk through on how you can avoid these CCs. Protections. There are 2 types of protections: active and passive. The active ones will be from spells and passive from resistances. There are 5 kinds of protections we can actively use. Starting with Superarmor. Superarmor effect will prevent you from almost all CCs from all directions around you. However, you will be vulnerable to grabs, damage, slows, hitstaggers and vacuums. Remember, when I said the hitstagger can be bad for you, you see, getting your SA animation sped up will result in shorter protection from actual CCs, forcing you to play accordingly and waste more spells than originally planned. There are some spells that can linger their super armor if you let their animations play out, or some buffs that give you temporary lingering SA, in short LSA for a duration. Block, also mostly referred to as frontal guard, or in short FG. Block effect will grant 180-degree protection towards the direction the character is facing. Block prevents CCs, but also damage and slows. However, it has a gauge that can be depleted. When not using skills with block, the gauge will regenerate. Upon reaching 0, you will no longer be protected from damage, and its regeneration gets stopped for several seconds. This protection is prone to back attacks, as the back of the character using frontal guard is not protected. They are also prone to high damage that can break the gauge, grabs, and summon CCs that can get behind the block, such as Nova Dragon. Invincible frames, also known as iframes. Iframe is effect that prevents character from being hit. This effect has no weakness and is the go tool when avoiding grabs. The only disadvantage is that there isn't that many usable iframes around for generally most classes, so wasting an iframe spell can lead to death. The last two forms of protection I want to talk about are something that most would not expect, and it's simply distance and stealth. By managing the distance between you and your opponent, you can prevent danger and plan ahead your next steps easily. This form of protection is prone to ranged CCs and fast cap closers. Stealth. Some spells can make your character disappear from sight, making it hard for enemy to follow your movement, such as Sage Rift Chain, Ninja and Kuno Concealment. Unless the stealth is used through concealment, the character will be visible on minimap. Concealment can be broken by CCs, damage and a flare. Besides covering different strengths and weaknesses all around, each and every form of protection has the same common enemy. Desync. Fully desynchronization. It can be simply understood as lag between you, server, and the enemy due to delay between each other. In example, the delay between me, server, and enemy made my protection not register in time, corresponding to when enemy used his CC on me. Moving on to resistances. You can think of them as passive protection, or a second chance for when you make mistake or get outplayed. Each CC can be resisted. The maximum effective percentage you can get is 80%. And anything above will not be added after ignore resistance is used. Every character starts with 20% innate resistance. By using different consumables, equipment and certain spells, you can increase the percentage of your resists. Resistances can be countered by ignore resistance stats. The way you get this again is by using different consumables, equipment and certain spells. If you have made it this far, congratulations! You have learned what are all the basic concepts that can act as your stepping stone towards the world of PvP. You can now create your own combos, search for items with effects that suit your character and original playstyle, practice on staying protected and learn how to win your fights and have fun combining everything together. There is more in-depth mechanics between each and every discussed topic. I heavily recommend you never stop learning the depths of basic fundamental elements that make up the Black Desert combat. I will leave several links in the description that can help you learn further. And if you have enjoyed and learned from the video, please drop a like and comment about anything you want to get clarified. Your support means everything to me.